December the 4th, 1991, a lone Boeing 727 lifted off from Barbados into the Caribbean dusk. Flight 436 to Miami, 50 passengers on board, an aircraft built to carry 150. The crew had been told mid-flight they would not have a job when they landed. Every pilot, every flight attendant was flying home to unemployment because Pan American World Airways was dying at 40,000 feet, the most glamorous airline in the history of commercial aviation. The company that invented the jet age was shutting down forever. After 64 years, the blue globe was going dark, and nobody was coming to save it. Pan Am was never just an airline. From the moment Juan Trippe founded it in 1927, it was an extension of American power projected across the globe. Trippe was Yale, skull and bones, the son of a Wall Street banker with a vision nobody else in aviation could see. He understood flight was not about moving passengers from city to city. It was about shrinking the planet so America could own the sky above it. He lobbied Washington relentlessly for exclusive mail contracts and route rights, and the U.S. government gave him everything he asked for. By the mid-1930s, Pan Am's flying boats, the legendary Clippers, were crossing both the Pacific and the Atlantic. Elegant machines landing on water and harbors from Manila to Marseille. Passengers in evening gowns and dinner jackets stepping onto tropical docks. Pan Am was not competing. No other American airline was permitted to fly overseas. Exclusive mail contracts, route rights no other carrier could even apply for, a government-sanctioned monopoly flying the American flag into every foreign port. It was, quite literally, the chosen instrument of American foreign policy. For the decades that followed, Pan Am did everything right. Modern fleet, global routes on every continent, a reputation for luxury and safety no airline could match. In 1958, Pan Am became the launch customer for the Boeing 707, the first American jet airliner in commercial service. Overnight, New York to London shrank from 14 hours to 6.5. The world map was folded in half by a single machine. The blue globe became a symbol of American prestige in every world capital. Travelers wore that logo like a badge of sophistication. Pan Am did not serve the jet age. Pan Am invented the jet age. In 1963, the company moved into the largest office building on Earth, the Pan Am Building, 59 stories towering over Grand Central Terminal, helicopters landing on the roof, the most visible corporate monument in America. And Juan Trippe, now in his mid-60s, had one final bet to place, the biggest bet in aviation history. In 1965, Trippe sat down with Boeing President Bill Allen and made history with a single handshake. He ordered 25 Boeing 747s, an aircraft that did not exist yet. Boeing had not even finished designing it. The entire aviation industry thought Juan Trippe had lost his mind, a machine so impossibly enormous it looked like a practical joke. The order was worth over $500 million in 1966 money. Trippe's logic was elegantly simple. More seats meant lower cost per passenger. Lower cost meant more people could fly. More people flying meant Pan Am would dominate global aviation for another generation. But the 747 carried 366 passengers. You had to fill every seat on every flight just to cover the jet fuel. When the first 747 took off in January 1970 wearing Pan Am's colors, it was the crowning achievement of Juan Trippe's career. He retired shortly after, leaving behind the largest airline on Earth. But the airline he left behind was built on a single enormous bet, a bet that the world economy would keep expanding forever. It would not. In October 1973, the Arab members of OPEC imposed an oil embargo. The price of jet fuel quadrupled almost overnight. Pan Am's entire business model collapsed. Those giant 747s were optimized for dirt-cheap fuel that vanished in a single afternoon. Every Atlantic crossing was suddenly a money-losing proposition. The airline hemorrhaged cash at a rate Wall Street had never witnessed. But the oil shock was not the real problem. The real problem was structural, hiding in plain sight for decades. Pan Am had no domestic routes, not one. It could not feed passengers into its international flights the way United, American, and Delta could. A traveler in Cleveland could not fly Pan Am to New York and connect to London. That pathway simply did not exist. Pan Am relied entirely on passengers showing up at its international departure gates, an airline waiting for customers already flying on someone else. And Washington was about to make this structural flaw absolutely fatal. In 1978, Congress passed the Airline Deregulation Act. Overnight, any U.S. airline could apply for any international route anywhere. Pan Am's government-granted monopoly evaporated in the stroke of a pen. Airlines like United, American, and Delta, carriers with massive domestic webs feeding millions into international hubs, subtly possessed the one thing Pan Am had never bothered to build: a complete pipeline from any American city to any foreign capital. Pan Am had no pipeline whatsoever. It was the chosen instrument with no domestic orchestra to feed it. The board panicked. They needed a domestic network immediately, this quarter, right now, before the company collapsed. So they did something unbelievably desperate. They went shopping for an airline they could not afford. In 1980, Pan Am acquired National Airlines for $400 million. It outbid every competitor, paying roughly double what the company was worth. But the price was not the real disaster. The real disaster was merging two completely incompatible airlines. National's unions clashed violently with Pan Am's from the first day. The two route networks did not connect in any logical way. The corporate cultures mixed like oil and water in a glass. Within 12 months, Pan Am was booking losses so deep the board could barely look at the quarterly reports. The domestic network it overpaid for was bleeding the company to death. By 1981, Pan Am was forced to sell the Pan Am Building, the most recognizable corporate headquarters in America, sold to MetLife for $400 million, exactly what it had wasted on National Airlines. The monument was gone, the blue globe came down, and the balance sheet was still bleeding red. Juan Trippe, the founder who built an empire on a handshake, had died in 1981. He was spared the worst of what came next. Throughout the 1980s, Pan Am was not running an airline, it was running a liquidation. In 1985, it sold its entire Pacific division to United Airlines. The routes, the aircraft, the priceless landing rights at Tokyo and Hong Kong, all of it gone. Remember, the Pacific was where Pan Am began. The original Clipper routes that built the company's reputation. Now there was nothing but empty ocean and silence. In 1990, Pan Am sold its London routes to United for another $400 million, the single most prestigious route authority in all of commercial aviation, the crown jewel. Pan Am sold it to stay alive for just a few more months. The airline was consuming itself, devouring its own body, to buy weeks of survival. Each sale removed another reason for any passenger to ever choose Pan Am. By 1988, Pan Am was a ghost of itself, a wraith barely visible through the fog of its own catastrophic decline. And then the bomb went off. On December the 21st, 1988, Pan Am Flight 103 exploded over Lockerbie, Scotland. A bomb hidden in the forward cargo hold detonated at 31,000 feet. 259 passengers and crew on board. 11 residents of Lockerbie on the ground, killed as wreckage rained down on the village. 270 people dead, all of them. The investigation uncovered systemic security failures. Pan Am had received specific credible warnings about a bomb and had failed to act. The device was concealed inside an unaccompanied suitcase, a bag checked by a passenger who never boarded the aircraft. The bag flew alone across the Atlantic, carrying a bomb in its lining. Pan Am was already bleeding to death financially. Now it faced a PR catastrophe and wrongful death lawsuits from 270 families. Ticket sales collapsed. Passengers fled to any other carrier that would take them. The airline was being avoided by the traveling public. Lockerbie did not kill Pan Am. Pan Am was already dying of 1,000 self-inflicted wounds, but Lockerbie ensured there would be no recovery, no rescue, no miracle in the final hour. By 1991, Pan Am was in Chapter 11 bankruptcy, fighting for every additional day. Delta Airlines offered a financing lifeline, keeping Pan Am operating while quietly carving off its remaining assets. But on December the 3rd, without warning, Delta abruptly pulled out entirely. The next morning, lawyers informed the court the money was irretrievably gone. There was nothing left, not a single dollar to keep the planes in the sky. Flight 436, Clipper Goodwill, Captain Mark Pyle at the controls, received the urgent order. Turn around immediately, return to Miami, Pan Am is ceasing all operations worldwide. It was the last scheduled Pan Am flight in 64 years. When the landing gear touched the runway in Miami, the chosen instrument of American aviation ceased to exist forever. The blue globe went dark. 12,000 employees lost their jobs in a single afternoon. An airline that had once defined an entire century simply stopped existing. The chosen instrument was unchosen, by passengers, by Wall Street, by history. The empire Juan Trippe spent 40 years building was erased in 2 days.